Hey guys, it's Coop here at Bar-A-BBQ in Montgomery, Texas. So it's an off day today, but an off day in the barbecue world means you are here prepping for future services. So in saying that, we have to get 24 briskets trimmed in season to go on the pit tonight. And I figured if we're going to do that, we might as well show you guys how we trim briskets here at Bar-A, the tools that we use, and our entire process of trimming. So y'all stay tuned. I'm going to show you guys and walk you through how I do one. I'm going to show you some more video on how we do 5 more after that. So stay tuned, follow along. Thanks for checking out. All right, guys, so we have a McLaren Choice Grade Brisket here. We get these through our purveyor, Benny Keith. We love this product. It's very consistent. They're 5.2 a case. They're normally around 65 to 70 pounds a case. So they're averaging about 11 to 12 pounds per brisket. So we have our 10-inch slicing Victorinox knife. I love this knife. It's the only knife I can use anymore to trim briskets. I will say it took me probably the first 30 to 40 briskets before I really felt comfortable holding this knife, and now it feels abnormal to even hold a 6-inch fillet knife. So let's get this thing out. First step, make sure they're pretty cold. This one just came in the out of the truck today. We're going to cut this open right on that decal fat. Step 1 is going to be removing that decal. Now, the whole objective with this cut here is for when we flip this thing over, it's going to lay flat and not be raised up and sitting too high up here and get an abnormal structure to it. So we've accomplished that. Step 2 is going to be taking this mohawk out. I like to come from the top side down for 2 reasons. 1, I can remove this excess mohawk. 2, I'm able to roll my edges while I'm doing it. And a bonus is that I'm able to kind of dial in the fat too. So I'm knocking out 3 birds, 1 stone with this one cut here. So I'm going to come in from the top. I'm doing my best guess here about where that mohawk starts. I'm going to come in. I'm going to come down and around on that. I'm going to clean up this excess here. And when I'm doing that, I'm coming down and rolling my blade down as I'm getting to the end of that. I want to make sure I'm always rolling my edges with every cut I am on the sides. So by taking that out, I can now really dial in this fat. I'm going to give myself a nice straight line to work with. So I can kind of see where we're at so far. I still need to take more of this out, but that cut there kind of opens up the shape for me with the brisket. I'm going to finish cleaning up this mohawk. I'm going down and around. And I'm going to start 45 in my backside, going down and around until I get that nice ball shape I want on the back of this brisket, guys. So I have a little bit of this lean meat here that doesn't have any fat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a straight line, and I'm going to curve inward slightly to make sure I'm giving myself some nice round edges. I'm going to go ahead and finish those little edges off there. So give myself a nice rounded corner to that brisket. Okay? Cut number 2, the big one for me, is going to now be taking out this opposite side on the lean section. I'm going to come from the top, down, and roll my edge there. I'm going to start taking out a little bit of fat there so I can kind of see how much I have to work with. So I'm taking this off very thin, guys. Very little at a time. We really try and not scalp these things if we absolutely can. It's always nice to have a nice consistent fat coverage across the entire brisket. So now that I have my lean showing here, I'm going to come back and round this off in a second, but I want to get some of this fat off. So I'm looking to leave about 1/4 inch of fat. I like to feel in between the mohawk and that kind of band of fat here as I'm going to kind of help me give me a nice estimate on how much fat I still have to play with in there. So I've got my fat, I kind of feel it. I'm going to start working from the top, just taking off a little bit at a time. It's very important to have a nice sharp knife when you're doing this. There doesn't feel like there's a ton of fat on this brisket, so this shouldn't be too terribly long. I've got a little bit too much fat here on this back side. Now, if I'm going to leave a little bit more fat than a 1/4 inch, if I'm going to, you don't really want to ideally, but if I'm going to, I'm going to err on this back side. This is going to take a brunt of the residual heat from the firebox, and it's facing the heat source most of the cook for us here. So this fat is going to render. Now, that's obviously, it'll render to an extent. You can't leave, 2 inches of fat on there and expect it to not to render out. So I'm going to slowly kind of feel my way down that, feeling what I feel is about a 1/4 inch roughly, and that to me feels just about right. So everything through there feels nice and soft. Nothing feels hard. If you feel any fat that feels really hard, then you probably have too much fat on there. Going to kind of clean up some of my edges. And now we've got our fat dialed in. We have our lean rounded out. We have our backside taken care of with shape and fat. Now we're going to finish by cleaning up this lean tip here. And I'm just making little 45 cuts until I've come all the way around and giving myself a nice round edge. So that right there, guys, what we're looking for with a Bar-A finished brisket. I'm going to kind of ball up my backside, make sure everything looks good. But I've got all my edges rolled. Got the proper fat coverage I want. Let's check this out. Cool, there's one. We'll knock out some more here shortly. guys, so I hope that helped y'all somewhat. I definitely want to preface that I don't think this is the correct way. This is just the way that we do it here at Bar-A. If you have a great way that accomplishes the level of fat you need, the shape you need, and how you cook, then by all means, please stick with it. I'm just trying to help. If I can help one person out there, then it made this whole video worth it. So we've got 24 trimmed. We're going to get these all seasoned, get these on the pit tonight for a cold smoke. And I really hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. If y'all have any comments or ideas for their future videos, maybe how we can do this one better in the future, please leave it down below in the comments section. Again, guys, it's Coop at Bar-A in Montgomery, Texas. Thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. Thank you, and God bless.